Hi, everyone. Elle Ballard here with Women of the World Network, and my amazing friend from all the way from Hawaii, Arliss. Hi, Arliss. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. I'm excited for this conversation. Before we jump into it, I'd love to introduce Arliss first. Number one, international best-selling author, business consultant, and self-love coach, Arliss Dudley Cash is an inspirational speaker and self-love movement leader with a background in business, neuroscience, and forensics. Her career expands over several industries, including operations management, research scientist, and death investigation. Arliss unites this eclectic background with her personal journey in overcome the odds and survive a terminal diagnosis. Her award-winning presentations include topics on extreme self-love and body positivity. Arliss is a big believer in the magic of our individual stories and the power of storytelling to affect positive change in this world. In 2021, she co-founded the Body Positivity podcast, which she hosts with her friend Diana Grimillion. Through her company, Solutions LLC, she's passionate about helping her clients to become powerful, joyful, authentic business owners experiencing freedom, having a lot more fun in their business, and experiencing the success of their dreams. Our list dream is for each of us to become the loves of our lives. I love it. Welcome, Arliss.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and every time I read your bio, it just amazes me. Your background is so unique, all that experience, forensics and all that stuff. I only heard about it. Of course, I don't know the details, but I think it's awesome. But yeah, so please share with us, where are you from, and then why you do what you do. Combining, of course, your unique background that already makes you unique, but also covering why you chose this path and what makes you different.
Yeah, thank you. So I was born and raised in Modesto, California, in the United States. And I spent most of my life in the United States. I spent a few years in Iowa, and now I live in Hawaii. So yeah, it's wonderful to have had that journey of going from California to Iowa to Hawaii. They're all very different. So yeah, why do I do what I do? I do what I do because I really have a love for business and for business owners. I think that so many people that go into business feel like they have to go it alone, or that it's just a solo journey. And I really want to help business owners to know that they don't have to do it alone. And there's a lot of ways to do it in community. So there is joining a networking group like the Women of the World. There is, hiring a coach. There is, having an accountability partner. It's just really important that especially women in business don't feel like they are alone in their business. There's so many resources out there. And the reason I focus on self-love is because our brains are wired for us to achieve the success that we want to have in our lives and business through self-love. Anytime that we're using negative motivation or negative self-talk to try to achieve a goal in our business, we're actually literally short-circuiting ourselves in our brain, because our brain is wired for us to love ourselves and be gentle with ourselves and to show that appreciation for what we do accomplish in our business. I think the thing that really makes me unique is my varied background, just what you talked about. I've had a lot of life experience in my 37 years. Working in forensics and then research, and then as an operations manager in business. And I think it gives me a really unique perspective. And it really inspires me to want to work with a lot of different types of businesses because I enjoy the variety so much. I think that I definitely have a different approach to business than most business coaches, because I'm always supporting my clients in rewarding themselves, taking breaks, scheduling self-care, using positive affirmations to really motivate themselves, and going through their business from a really gentle, loving place instead of the more traditional place of push, push, push.
Oh, I love that. Yes, yes, yes to all of that. Yeah, thank you, Arliss. We had a conversation yesterday at one of the meetings I was attending, and that's the thing I was saying, being in hustle mode, and all the push and act, action, action. And I get it. We still take that action, right? But I feel like I just want to, be in a law of attraction mode, manifesting and attracting things that come to me, things that belong to me. And, without that push and hustle, and realizing also that's more of a masculine energy, and we have to have a balance of our energy with that. So I love that, and I fully support that. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I want to talk about, so Arliss, I know you are one of our second edition book authors, which will be published this spring. And our first book was published last year at the beginning of the year. This second edition, I am so excited about this, because the title of the book is Recipes for Your Mind, Body, and Soul. And the unique thing about this book, this compilation of stories, because they are not only for kitchen, so there are some kitchen recipes, and then there are some recipes for life, literally how to learn to forgive, how to be in a relationship, and so on and so forth, right? But then each of those recipes, though, has a background story that kind of led every author in life to why they came up with that recipe. And so when people if it's a cooking recipe, when they cook that, they're going to relive that story, whether it's connected to their grandmother, or we have some Second World War stories, so I'm speaking, I have goosebumps every time I talk about it. So I'm just excited about this book, and I think it's gonna empower a lot of people out there with this unique stories, with this unique recipes. But I want to let you share with us your chapter, and why you chose to write what you chose to write in the book, and what are some of the takeaways that you want readers to take away from your chapter.
Yeah, thank you. And it was such an honor to even be considered to be part of the book. So I want to thank you, Elle, for that. And my chapter's name is Food for the Soul. And it's all about my journey with food. And I think a lot of people's journey with food, where I experienced that most of the food that I was eating was not safe for me. So that experience of realizing that I had to change what I was eating in order to be in a healthy place in my body, and figuring out what was safe or not safe for me as far as food. And one of the one of the recipes that I highlight is a family recipe that is from my mother's side of the family, that basically was comprised of almost all ingredients that were not safe for me in the original recipe. And my mom really going the extra mile to find a safe way for me to still enjoy that food. So for me, food is more than just fuel for my body. Food is a soul connection to my ancestors. It's a soul connection to my family. And so it's really important to me to be able to eat those foods that have those connections, in a safe way, and really wanting to encourage others to discover what is safe for them with food, and how can they create their favorite foods from their ancestors or their mothers in a safe way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And how important is that becoming more and more as we are cooking all these different foods and, but being selective, right? Me including. I just got my, blood work, and then, have to be, okay, so which food I want to be careful about, and the food that our body process, the way our body process food. And I love how that also talks to what you do, in body positivity and self-love as well. Goes back to that as well. And that leads me to the next question. What is the advice that you want to give to others? And of course, I'm excited for them to read your chapter and try those recipes and your story, get to know your story. What advice do you want to share with others when it comes to self-love, giving that self-love to yourself, when it comes to body positivity, that attitude, developing that attitude for people who, especially who may be struggling with that, or do know maybe what to start with?
Yeah. So tying it back to my chapter in the book, I would say try to remove all judgment around food if you can, or at least notice when you're having judgment of food. And what I mean by that is, in society, we're taught these foods are good foods and these foods are bad foods. And if you eat this, then you've been naughty, or you have to exercise more, or you have to pay some kind of price for eating quote unquote bad food. And if you can notice when you are putting judgment on food and putting it into good or bad category, and then try to release some of that judgment, it will improve your relationship with food overall. And when we improve our relationship with food, we are expressing self-love, and we are accepting our bodies for where it is in that moment. There are going to be days where we want to eat something that maybe isn't the most ideal for our body, right? But that doesn't make us bad people. That doesn't make us wrong. It doesn't make us have to pay a price in the number of sit-ups or squats or running that we do. It means that we made that choice in that moment. And then the next time that we go and make a choice, we get to make a new choice. We can choose that same food, or we can choose something else. I think that when we are in that pattern of judgment around food, we tend to put ourselves in the same category as our food. So we're either good or bad. And if we decide that we're going to eat a bad food and then we're bad, then, well, it's like the wheels came off the wagon and now we're just on the bad food train, and we're just going to keep going down that way. But if we remove judgment, we get to make a new choice every time. And we get to meet ourselves where we are and be really loving towards ourselves in that choice.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. That's a definitely different take, but I completely get what you mean by that. And I love your stand on this, we have to enjoy it as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and find what is safe for you. Once you decide what is safe foods for you, then you can eat those foods feeling really positive about that. And there are so much variety out there, as I don't eat any refined sugar or grains, and I have dessert almost every day. Right. So there's still lots of options. Even though I don't eat refined sugar or grains, I can still find options to bake a cake. I can still find options to have dessert. It doesn't eliminate having sweets altogether. It just eliminates, for me, not having sweets that are unsafe for me.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I totally relate. Yeah. When I take days like, oh, and oops, I'm not, I thought we muted by a second, on a second. No, okay, I'm not muted. Okay, great. Yes, yeah,
You're a little bit quieter than you were before.
okay, I think it's,
Oh, there it goes.
okay, perfect. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I think it defaulted back to another mic or something. Yeah, so I love that, and I love the choices that we have right now, right? With when it comes to even sugar, like it doesn't have to contain even sugar, but it will taste. Body doesn't know the difference. So or meat, protein replacing meat and things like that. So yeah, that's great. So my next question is what it means for you to be a woman of the world.
Well, that's interesting. I want to just comment on being a part of the Women of the World Network first. It's an amazing organization and group. Every person that I've met through the Women of the World Network is just such an inspiration, really, and just like a high quality person. I love it. So being a part of the networking group is really a gift in my life. And then being a woman of the world, it's interesting because I feel like I've lived such a small life compared to what that title commands, right? And yet I think that every woman is a
Yes,
woman of the world.
exactly.
So when I hear that, I feel a sense of community, and I feel a sense of responsibility to be supporting those around me, especially other women in business.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Arliss, for saying that. And thanks for your kind words. We're definitely grateful to have you as one of the high quality, amazing, just honest, just pure, authentic human being. Okay, so we're going to move on to the rapid fire questions. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Your favorite book name is?
The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown.
Love it. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite international destination to visit?
That one's hard, but I'm going to say London, England. I love the history.
Yeah. Summer or winter?
Summer.
And the last one is things that you have discovered about yourself recently.
One thing that I've discovered about myself recently is that sometimes I can be pretty black and white in my thinking, or very divided in my thinking, and I don't have a lot of gray sometimes in my belief systems. And so that's one thing that I'm working on this year, is to have more gray in the way that I think about the world and the beliefs that I have.
Beautiful. That's it. Thank you for playing. I love it. Well, I want to thank you so much, Arliss, for taking the time to do this. I love our conversations, and yeah, I think we're gonna let people listen to it, and we're gonna add links to the book. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So grateful to be a part of the book, and I'm grateful to be a part of future projects by Women of the World Network.
Thank you, Arliss. Bye.
Bye.